It's great to have your company again, Virgo. I'm Dadhichi from Astrological.com.au, and what a relief you're going to have very shortly, on December 8th actually, to be precise, when Mars, that really troublesome planet for you, moves out of your sun sign. And for some of you, you've been feeling irritable, probably looking forward to the holiday break. But just as it exits out of your sign, there is a pretty nice aspect between that planet and Venus from your fifth sector of romance, love affairs and creativity. So that should temper the rather aggressive energies of Mars and make you feel actually quite good, quite sexy, quite attractive, and quite drawn to members of the opposite sex, as well as feeling the urge to produce something aesthetic and creative. There's a strong drive for that during this. We do note right now, it's the 3rd of December as I'm giving you this synopsis for the month, that the new moon is in your fourth sector. So that often heralds the beginning of new things on the domestic front for you. And that could be coinciding with the Christmas festivities right now. So I do hope that this is an omen for good things in terms of the relationships you're having with your family members. That may have been a bit tricky, as we can see from the passing conjunction of Mercury to Saturn, which has also been in the vicinity of your North Node or karmic point. And these points have been in a kind aspect from Jupiter in the 11th house. So although there may have been some, some difficult communications, that aspect of Jupiter is usually welcome as a relieving factor, something that will bring a bit of optimism and lighten the otherwise heavy discussions you may be having. And the third house too, as I mentioned last month, may have a lot to do with siblings or neighbours, people in your local area. So the communication in those spheres of your life, which would otherwise be really, really heavy, really bogged down in the seriousness of it all, are very much lightened with that jovial disposition of Jupiter. So that's a nice element in your horoscope right now. So coupled with the exit of Mars from your sun sign, favourable aspect of Jupiter onto those three planets, the new moon in your fourth house, and Venus in the fifth house of romance, moving away from the rather obsessive and really deeply emotionally troubling Pluto, which I talked about last month as well, are all favourable indications that this period should be a lot more satisfying for you. You do have the movement of Mars into the second house on the 8th, as I've just said. That has more to do with your finances now over the next month or so. Being a troublesome planet, that's an area you need to be careful of over this next few weeks, especially coming into Christmas. I don't even have to make that prediction for you to know exactly what I'm talking about there. The Sun is at a right angle for most of you around the 9th, so that's conflicts with authority figures and your own willpower being challenged. You might find it a bit difficult to exhibit will, and that may tie in very closely with the Mars movement into the zone of finance. Mind you, your Sun also rules the house of expenses, so it's quite likely you're not going to have too much willpower in that specific area. Watch your budget. Favourable aspects on the 11th, the 13th, Mercury and Jupiter to Uranus and Saturn. Saturn is a very favourable planet for you. So these all augment your domestic sphere and bring some really pleasant surprises for you earlier than you expect, being the Christmas holiday season. Mercury at a right angle to the Sun on the 16th is not so good. That could bring some troublesome communication out of the blue from a male figure, a younger male figure in the family, or something that distracts you from the tasks that you have at hand. Sun and Mercury move to your fifth house of romance, whilst Venus is still there. So this is going to triplicate your romantic experiences and expressions. So you're going to have 4 planets there at that time, which is rather powerful. And this indicates you'll bring a lot of that creativity and expression to this Christmas festivity, parties, entertainment, all that sort of stuff is part and parcel of this type of transit when we see it. Be careful though, the influence of Venus with the opposition to Jupiter is still very much there, even though it's passing, indicating wastefulness and a tendency to excess. So this Christmas might find you, if you're a drinker and enjoy a bit too much of the good life, certainly a hangover on the day or two after. We have the 3 difficult aspects from Mercury, the Sun and Mars on the 30th and 31st, and Mercury moving into conjunction with Pluto on the 31st. Those last couple of days may be beset with some difficulties. And again, this has to do with the 5th house and 8th house. 5th house, as I said, romance. 8th house is sexuality and the deeper intimate aspects of your relationships. So that might not be a great end to the year. So you need to maybe back off, wait till these transits pass before you embark on any deep and meaningful discussions. I hope to see you again here next year. Do have a safe, happy, prosperous Christmas and New Year. Join me at astrology.com.au for more detailed information as usual, and look forward to your company here in 2014. Bye-bye for now.